We are back between ENCE and Furia. Second map coming up. ENCE will be disappointed they let things slip at the end. They had a chance at 13-13, but from there on out, the Brazilians stepped it up a notch. CORSAIR in particular was a real highlight with 31 frags. Henny had his part as well. And now that we're moving to train here, Dust, you're expecting to see more from Henny.
Yeah, you hope so. They actually had a pretty good game against G2, all things considered, the opening day. Wound up losing it in a pretty close fashion. Furia has always been kind of a mixed bag on train, to be fair. 8-7 record on land this year. Meanwhile, ENCE has been a monster on train. Although their last couple of games, one was a tie to Navi, and one was them struggling to beat E United in New York. So, like, really across the board, ENCE have not looked nearly as sharp since Lexa B has departed. Or been kicked, I guess you could say. But we'll see what happens. ENCE needs this to stay alive in the tournament.
Henny with the smoke. ENCE rooted. They are deciding to just push in regardless, and that's going to be to their death. Yuri with CORSAIR spinning around and claiming a whole bunch of headshots. X7 mounting the only feasible comeback with two of his own. The Glock is starting to rip and shred. But now Henny, who started off the round, is the last man standing, has came full circle. He's run out of ammunition, but so is X7. Henny was there for the taking, but ENCE could not capitalize, and the Brazilians will claim first blood on this second all-important map.
Big win, that is for sure, from Furia. Henny, the biggest part of it, the newcomer, he had 25 kills in the last game, so while he got outshone a bit by CORSAIR, he was still very, very impactful in that game. ENCE now onto the full save. Shouldn't be seeing really too much going on here.
And not even a flashbang, not even a smoke, nothing at all.
Yeah.
Looking like they're going to just pile outside B, where Yuri is waiting with an incendiary. As soon as he spots a player, toss that down.
And now ENCE are screwed.
Pretty much, yeah. The only way they could really have feasibly got onto the site and planted is if they caught maybe Yuri by surprise or in transition or something, but he's also called across Art, who has a FAMAS. So plenty of bullets at their disposal. 55 before they need to reload. 10 of which have just been used on Yuri. Kill's going to be coming in. Art, though, stands tall with his FAMAS. It's going to be on for the ace, actually. It picks it up. It's a full eco, so we can't get too carried away, but that's a hell of an ace to pull off.
Still a nice little flick, though, on that guy who pushed Pop Dog. I give him some props for that one. Got a little bit of a pause going on here. Probably technical, if I had to guess. Maybe they're taking tactical, I don't know.
I think he said admin in chat, so I assume it's technical.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
So not so much to talk about here yet in this technical pause.
Yep. Close pistol, followed by a full ecoed up ENCE. They did at least get a kill from it. 7 with 3 frags. They could afford an AWP. Could be glass cannon, though.
So what do we want to talk about then, Vince, while we wait? Don't really have much CS to talk about here yet.
The thing is, everywhere my mind goes would not be reasonable.
Yeah,
for
not reasonable for stream, is it?
That's always the worry and the concern, isn't it?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on aliens?
Definitely exist. It's incredibly arrogant and self-centered to assume that we're the only living thing in the universe.
All right, then.
With how vast and big it is. Whether we've met them or not is an entirely different thing. I don't believe any of those conspiracy stories. You know, that Area 51 has a bunch of...
Would you have rated it?
No. You've seen me, as if I could be asked to do that, mate.
It would be kind of unreal just watching you try to run your way through a security gate.
To be fair, I would just I'd just be the guy that ran in and knocked the wide fence or whatever over. With that extra girth of mine.
Like the reverse Hodor.
Exactly. That would be my part. I'd die, but you know, at least everyone else.
What would you scream on your way out? Like, what's your final words?
Well, I can't say it on stream.
Okay.
We are live again anyway. They haven't got. Oh, they have gone for the AWP. Balu's gone glass cannon. All right.
Also, Art has the AWP over Henny. Even though Henny was taking it up a lot yesterday on train against G2. But
maybe based on spawn, because he did peek the voxels.
Yep, that's very possible. Also, they're going to run double op as soon as they can, I would imagine. Which, if they can get this round victory, get that AWP away from Olive, they could do it for free. But we do see ENCE lining up some type of inner execute right away here.
Solid entry. Sergey with 2. Flash was perfectly delivered by Sunny. Plant to the back of B, the default position. And Furia can't really feasibly get back onto the site with all of the losses that they've sustained.
Right.
This is where a position like X7 could really come into play, though.
Yeah, absolutely. He could be cleaning up. He is a normal Ivy player for ENCE on default, so he is going to be the one that's going to be here trying to stop this, but may or may not see a duel breakout. This is what we didn't see from ENCE on Mirage, though. It's like more decisive executes, and this is something that ENCE has in spades on Train. They're very, very prone to do kind of these just nice set pieces. And so I want to see more of that. Otherwise, it could be in for some real trouble. They start getting indecisive again. Especially once Fury gets their economy, gets the double op rolling. It's whenever it could get a little bit tougher, but they're getting their rounds here now. Keeping it close, 2-1.
Not quite as one-sided as Furia's endeavors over on Mirage. Took a 4-0 lead and a 6-2 lead. ENCE have already bit back pretty early on. Their choice of map, of course, though, does. We're expecting to see a different take. We're expecting to see more solid work overall from them.
Doing a little bit of a boost here inside T-Con. That nade, though, is going to be the one doing a lot of the damage. Vinny won't know it just yet, but he has taken a little bit out of Aerial X7 and Alu. And that boost is... actually didn't go as bad as I thought it was for a second there, but still, they do lose a player.
1-1 trade. Early doors. Furia's firepower is considerably worse off than ENCE's. Utilities around the same across the board. Plenty of time left, but Sunny's going to take the equality and flush it down the toilet. CORSAIR was so very good on Mirage, but he's going to get caught from behind. Sunny deals him the fatal blow. There's going to be some questions asked as to why Vinny wasn't watching that. A little bit slow to help his teammate out. SG at this kind of range could start to do some damage, but Alu is going to hold his position. Down to 11 he falls, and Yuri, I think, has the idea of pulling back, and whether he'll save or try and push up towards the Ivy is still yet to be seen. It seems like it's going to be the latter rather than the former. Kind of range, though, the MP7 is straight up trash, but there's the SG right next to him.
And also, there are 2 really low health players here. So there could have been maybe an opportunity, but obviously he really just wants that SIG. Really wants to be able to bring that over into the next round. Even the FAMAS would be an upgrade if he can't quite get to it. X7 knows that he's pushing into the back hall, trying to deny this, but it's not going to happen. Yuri gets that kill, farms a bit of extra cash for the SMG frag, and gets the SIG.
Yeah, some really slick headshot angle that was taken up there. Oh, dear.
That's the op gone.
Well, then. That's $4,750 plus Kevlar plus nades, I believe, that has just been lost to the bomb.
Of course, there was plenty of money for him to get dropped the op, and he was able to pass over a gun as well.
So the 1SG on the side of Yuri, who also has a kit and the Kevlar. We posted up on the green train. It's just having a quick peek across the main A. See if maybe you can find some players running out. It's really their only hope is if you can take down a flurry of players and maybe the rest of his team can get their hands on them. Meanwhile, the rest of Fury are starting to stack up on box halls. Yeah. Getting in position to maybe rotate round the back of ENCE if they show their hand too early.
Triple Ivy opening here from ENCE. Kind of one of the other go-tos besides just the default or a set piece is getting that triple pressure up into Ivy. Opens up the back halls as well as another route into the outer bomb site on top of your players that are going to be T-Con and potentially ladder. Yuri is going to be in the right place with the one gun that they do have to find the opening pick. He'll get smoked off, but he still might be able to linger around.
Flashed a bunch of times, not able to spray up through the smoke. And this is where the rest of his players having very little in terms of weaponry is really going to start to sting Yuri and Furia as a whole. Moving around with a 5-7. Oh, Vinny's also connected with a deagle. This is getting dangerous. Bomb's been dropped. Yuri's also dodging bullets. And Aerial missing those couple of rounds has really cost him dealing alongside his teammate Vinny, trying to hold on with the deagle. It's scrappy at the end, but Aerial and ENCE will move in the lead at 3-2.
Man, Furia missed opportunity there. They had a 2-on-1 at the end of that against Aerial, but could not figure it out. Feels like Vinny should have had that. It's definitely going to be frustrated. Still a lot of economic damage done, though, at least, forcing a lot of rebuying out of ENCE. So as soon as they lose, they're going to be onto a save. So now that Furia's back onto the buy, they have a chance to punish that. Seems like Yuri has been the one to take over for AbleJ in the inner bomb site here for Furia. So that is a change for him, as before he had been playing elsewhere. Also, he does have the op this time instead of Art.
I suppose that's one of the things. They have a lot of players that are very versatile on Furia. They can base it off spawn a little bit more. Flash down, but there's going to be one counteractive flash toss in X7 and Aerial doing a solid job of cracking open and plundering the B site. Bomb will be getting planted following that. Henny and CORSAIR, very different angles back onto the B side of the map. Henny with the first. Also spotted the second player up on the top of the site, but he misses. And he'll be ruining that missed opportunity. Could have been it. Instead, he is resigned to his fate of saving, and ENCE will move an extra round ahead now. Economy for the CTs also in the bin.
Yeah, there's a chance to chase after ENCE's own fragile money situation, but instead it's going to be Furia on the losing end of that. ENCE going up 4-2. Very good chance to find a fifth. Though Henny did say this AWP. There's a chance that Furia could get some upgraded pistols, and we just saw a couple of rounds ago them almost pull a round out just like that. So still going to pose a small threat in this next round.
Any spawn is nothing really special towards the middle of the pack, so maybe not any early peak. They may very well try and boost somebody up onto the connector side. Indeed, they will. There's already a player's pushed through. That's going to be Sergey with a UMP. They'll try and take the fight to the CT. He's going to be smoking down, keeping in the smoke, gathering intel for the rest of his squad. We're moving in slowly but surely on the B side. Yuri's here alone with a deagle. CORSAIR maybe finding Sergey momentarily. The shadow is going to betray Sergey, or perhaps not. As he comes out swinging, and best CORSAIR will be disappointed he didn't get that kill. Art in the meanwhile, though, moves into very much the same fate. Alu is watching from Popdog with the AWP. That's A site taken. Again, they're going to just want to save the AWP. Maybe have a couple of bodyguards in Vinny and Yuri watching Henny's back. ENCE will move to a 5-2 lead. Believe that Dust has dropped from Discord, so I don't know if his internet's gone or what. I'll just take this solo for now then. That has kind of came to fruition as anticipated. Is Discord still okay, Ruben? All right, cool. So it's just Dust then. Maybe his internet's gone.
Might just be that Discord's the biggest piece. Never mind. I'll let it go.
Oh, he's back. Hello.
Yeah.
There was like a long silence. I was thinking maybe he's just trying to build up the tension. I checked Discord, not there. Like,
just
oh,
Discord
okay.
things. Just Discord things. Perfectly reasonable voice over IP BS.
Well, timeout has been called. I mean, Furia have been up against it. The last 5 rounds have gone against them after winning the pistol in the second one. Has been pretty much one-way traffic with 4 explosions and 1 round where ENCE didn't even manage to get to the bomb in the first place.
Right. Double op is now in play, though, for Furia, so it gives them a little bit of added depth on what they can come up with. Well, that might be something that helps them finally get themselves a rifle round. Because as you noted, all they found is the pistol, and then obviously ENCE had an eco in the second round, so they kind of got that one for free.
How are Furia going to change things up? Or is it going to be more of the same? Have they maybe highlighted where the weakness is, where the gaps are? Fury again aggressive. This time, though, there is art also in box halls. Pop flash down. Sergey going to be throwing in the Molotov perfectly onto art. This opens up a bit of control now. It's possible for ENCE to take. It's also keeping two players interested over here on B, while the rest of the T's are funneling their way, or the majority of them, through Ivy. So smoke and flash. At this point, Furia aren't entirely sure as to where the main push is going to be coming in. They've seen quite a few different takes from ENCE.
That's the thing with triple Ivy is you can't quite know. Plus now you get an angle of attack from like 3 different locations all at once. It makes it hard for the CTs to handle all of them at the same time. Henny and Alu exchange op frags though.
Toronto's put down the bomb, but Aerial hungry for kills. The bloodlust has descended, but it has been satiated courtesy of Henny's AWP. And Sergey is the next to fall. So Furia's timeout has proved to be a success, but they lose 4 plays. That's going to be very costly.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard to get rifles out on these guys. Double op at least still going to be able to be in effect. Henny actually buying an op and dropping it over to Art. Obviously, he kept his own from the previous round. A couple of FAMAS are in play. Henny did an excellent job with AWP. Even though he's getting boxed in, it's up close. Finds the last couple of kills. Finally gets Furia on the board in a full buy round.
Straight after getting some success, though, they have hit another bump. Yeah. In the form of X7 down in Pop Dog. The same Molotov that Sergey threw in the last round, and it's going to have the same effect. Art this time, though, because of the casualty they lost earlier on, can't afford to stick around in case they push down ramp instead. Yuri is no longer with him, typically plays on the ramp.
Yep. Big catch onto Vinny early on there from ENCE. I think that was actually towards the ladder room as well, which can be difficult to do a lot of the time. Get down there and not get picked up. Art tried to hang around inside that Molotov at upper enter to get a pick, but did not find it in the end. So it still remains a 5-on-4 here for ENCE as they again are looking to control this ladder. Yuri has been mollied out of it, taking half his health as well. Henny able to get a big kill though onto Aerial. Aerial's going to try to catch him rotating out of ladder. He couldn't, and CORSAIR has now also come into play. Oh my, it's raining men in the worst kind of way for the Finns.
Hallelujah, if you are
Not
Fury,
quite.
though.
Yeah.
It was such a strange, like, stalled peak, though. Like, a lot of teams will do the double drop, where if you kill one, the other one can come straight back with a frag of their own. But that was just 1 by 1, 5-10 seconds in between the two of them. CORSAIR is more than good enough to dish that out. Alu 2 HP left with 15 seconds. Finds a few pixels from Art's shoulder, converts. CORSAIR 1-on-2. Got the first one onto Alu. Bomb planted safely, though, so Sunny's no longer out in the open, and the spray just about connects enough. CORSAIR has been put down. ENCE moved to 6.
Yeah, CORSAIR was hoping that his bullets from ladder would stop the bomb plant for a moment, but Sunny held the plant. If CORSAIR would have full peaked, he would have probably won the round because Sunny was committed to the plant. Didn't know that, though, so Sunny gets away with it in the end of the 1-on-1. Very weird round. Furia had their chances, but ENCE still hold them off, so it's an immediate reset here to Furia. They will have an op, a scout, and Deagles. That's it, and they lose this, they're on to a full save, most likely. Ah, never mind. They're only 1 away, basically, from max loss.
Well, hello there, Art. Nice Deagle frag. Alu has his head taken off. That's the AWP that goes with him. Whether they can get anybody into main to try and pick that up, or indeed get around the back of ENCE, is an entirely different question. Not compelled to go for any aggressive peaks at the moment with 3 Deagles. CORSAIR at the bottom of the ramp is waiting for them to push in. Sergey in first has his account closed. Unfortunately, Sunny at least is able to cull CORSAIR and open up a gateway towards the B side. Henny's missed his shot as well, or at least hasn't connected enough to kill Sunny. Tags him down to 42.
Oh, though, Art getting caught, not realizing the T-Con push would be coming. He was so focused on Ivy. Here he dedicated to the ladder itself, and he'll be rewarded. He gets an AK. It's like an AK dispensary there inside that ladder room.
Oh, the tag with the scout and finishes him off. A flashbang tossed in for good measure. X7 with the AWP. Gonna be traded out from Henny, and they can pick up this secondary AWP if they so choose, and they will. So CT double up setup intact. Furia starting to try to get themselves closer and closer to ENCE, who are going to be struggling for cash.
Yeah, team ace here from Furia as well. Everyone getting involved. Gets them right back into the race. ENCE, as you noted, doesn't have the best money here, so a chance for Fury to find a fifth and finally build up their own bank accounts. As I say that, ENCE decide to go for the force all the way. Really set them back in a big way if this doesn't work out, Vince.
It really could. In case Serato is going to be taking the initiative with that push. Does get tagged down to 5 HP. Yuri holds the line though on Ivy. Org sprayed out to perfection. Molotov, not quite it, but he's not going to get pushed anyway. Sunny is lurking in the smoke. The only assault rifle that ENCE still possess has been used once now to claim the life of Yuri. There's going to be a lot more bloodshed required though from ENCE if they're going to take this round. And Sunny is getting chipped away. Time and time again, Case Serato, who was low, has been finished off. And Sunny is the next and final player to fall in round 11. Furia just one round behind now.
Big victory there for Furia. It's just really hard to run those fast types of plays when CTs actually have utility. You're going to be forced to run through smoke. You're going to eat nade damage and all the like, and Furia used that to their advantage in a big way. Now, it's because of the force. They have to take the full save here. It's all Glocks except for the P250 on Sunny. And so Furia has a great chance to tie this thing up and again start building the reserve cash.
He's done this before, this exact same play. Shoulder peek, find the first player, toss down the Molotov, and then the smoke. They may be anticipating force by Vinny through the wall.
Oh my. I've seen a lot of tag damage through that, and even sometimes like scouts and ops will get frags through it, but you hardly ever see like almost a one tap essentially with the AK.
Yeah, just perfect. Crosshair placement, really. A bit unfortunate as well from Sergey's perspective. At that very second he started to cross, the bullets ricochet off his skull. Flashbang out. Here comes the attempt at some kind of play out with main, but because they just have nothing really to work with, only a P250. A dink was exchanged onto K Serato, but it's going to be a clean sweep, which is exactly what Furia were hoping for.
Absolutely. Puts ENCE in this weird buy save rotation. Meanwhile, Furia actually still have a buy ahead of them, even with the round loss. Sets them up nicely kind of for the rest of this half. This has been a great recovery from Furia after going down 5-2. They've won 4 of the last 5. They still have the double op in play. They have an aggression going on in the inner halls. They're going to be greeted by ENCE. ENCE are looking for this, so I don't know. We'll see how this plays out with Art and then his AWP.
Collision quite a few times already. Was Yuri pulling out a grenade? That's the only thing I can think of, is he was pulling out a nade to maybe throw onto ramp, and Furia, after having a few rounds back-to-back, looking a little bit sharper, have been dulled down by ENCE. Comfortable kills, and AWP gonna trade hands. And
that was
a save.
It was his timing strike, man. Like, Yuri was there with Art for the longest time. The moment he left is the moment that ENCE actually finally moved into box halls. And I wasn't watching from Art's perspective, but I can only imagine that he must have been holding an angle where he actually didn't even really see ENCE get down the ramp. And so Yuri just got absolutely blindsided. He had no idea they were coming. So I think that was a little bit of a, I don't know if it was a miscommunication, but I just don't think Yuri truly understood like how much of a threat ramp really was. Art just didn't seem to have it covered whatever angle he had.
Well, as a result of the save, though, it is going to be a case of another buy on Furia, so at least it's not a case that they're completely broken down. But yeah, that is the kind of round that Does seem a bit unfortunate from Furia's perspective.
Yeah.
Like, Yuri probably pulling out a nade, then obviously Art's basically screwed. Whichever way he moves, he's going to get shot.
Oh, yeah, I just looked at it back. Arts wasn't even peeking halls whenever they got to the ramp. So, yeah, Yuri indeed had no clue. That's rough.
Came down to timing.
Yep.
Sometimes the case with CS. 3 ops in play. 2 on Furia. Alu, of course, has the other one. And Alu isn't going to be picking up the first kill. It's going to be Art with 2. Make it 3 kills. All from the exact same position. And a 4th. And a 5th. Beautiful plays by Art, the ace. At such an integral, important moment in this game. What a ridiculous play.
That is just an unreal individual effort from Art, and you feel like that was right when they needed it, right when we saw ENCE coming back into this. You shut the door in their face with a play like that. He really shouldn't have been able to get away with it, but he does. 13 kills to each opper here for Furia. They have had so much impact on this comeback effort here at the back end of this first half. And now ENCE, they're angry. They're looking to push outer really quick. Sunny already pushed well into Olaf. He's getting through this smoke towards the site. There's a gap on the edge. He gets caught, though. Furia not letting up.
Furia unrelentless. The inspiration, the motivation after a play like that from Art will reverberate around the rest of the team. Alu will play no further part of this half, and neither will Aerial, nor will ENCE. Furia will lead on ENCE's choice of map 8-7. We'll find out how the second half concludes after this short commercial break. We are back, and hopefully you've had a few moments to calm down after that unreal Art play. Probably one of the plays of the tournament so far, I'd say, especially at this sort of moment in the game. Furia now on the T side, ENCE meanwhile maybe preparing on the CT side, and a lot of utility actually picked up for Furia. This may suggest to us that we're going to see a B hit.
Does seem that way, doesn't it? They're all in that area. They have plenty of flashbangs. They have the smokes they can throw deep, because that's what you want to do. You want to get those smokes deep into Z connector and towards CT spawn so you can push up close, get the Glocks in the faces of the USPs. That's the best way to get the most out of them. That's what I expect we're going to see here, and I imagine that Surrogate's going to get rather overwhelmed.
He is falling back, though, into more of a secondary position, so may even give this up if the smokes and flashes start to land all around him and wait for the rest of his team to flank in. Got a kit, obviously, in the hands of Sunny and a couple of flashes. Now you can see all these smokes connecting. Alu, just perched up on the ramp, is doing a ton of damage. Henny somehow scampers away with 1 HP. And Alu's not far off finalizing that. Bomb going to get planted down, but the early incursion certainly not helping. Flashbang in, and X7 finds 2 as they just run straight into him. Lambs to the slaughter. Vinny going to try and shepherd this away from ENCE. Gooshes towards Aerial. Yuri and CORSAIR at the back of the site going to have to fend off against 4 Finns as they charge straight at them, going for the jugular. First kill in this encounter is going to go the way of the Brazilians. And now CORSAIR, 1-on-3, has claimed 2 kills already, but there's going to be no more. And with the kit, they're going to have enough time for the defuse. We're all tied up again.
It looks so good for Furia. They got in the bomb on a 5-on-5. They had the close pushes on Z. They had a pot flash that came through. You would normally think that that's going to allow the Glocks to just kind of swarm in. But X7 holds his ground inside Z. Those are big kills. Helps lock in the round for ENCE. Gets this game tied back up right away. Now with that bomb plant, though, Furia are going to be buying up immediately. They've already lost one of their SIGs, however. That's Yuri off the board. They might be able to grab that gun back, but they will have to play this 4-on-5.
Oh, the timing from X7 as he jumps across, and Art gets the weakened Aerial. He's cracking it open from Ivy. And in amongst all the chaos, Vinny can now make a move on E-Box. Does get dinked, but it's at range from the UMP. Not a rifle, so he will live to tell the tale. Or at least for the time being, he will. For how much longer is up to Sunny, and it's up to Alu. Molotov down, not going to quite extend enough to kill Sunny. But Henny's M4 will. And now Alu's position is known. It's tenable for Furia. The bomb is still dropped back towards the alley side on the T-spawn side. So it's going to take them a while to even get back here. Alu Alu jumps up and actually survives somehow with a second kill to boot. This is the downside of having the bomb nowhere close. One player is caught out in the open.
Is Alu really going to respect it to be Ivy, though? Like, this is going to all come down to timing. Whether or not Alu detects this from CORSAIR, or whether or not CORSAIR can get in behind Alu. Man, it might not matter now. Alu got out of there, but his health is just so low. If they actually take an extended duel, Alu should still lose this round. All up to positioning.
Thing is, though, if CORSAIR does decide to go for the plant, especially open to connector, that's where Alu could still win this. They're both going to be meeting each other momentarily. Smoke down onto the site for the plant. Alu can get up close. He can look for the frag after he comes off it. CORSAIR has no idea where Alu currently is. This round could be a 1v3. It could be Alu taking it. But CORSAIR just gets away. The smoke is still down there, though. Alu can tap this and try and get CORSAIR back out into the open. CORSAIR hasn't fully bit down on this, though. He's assuming it is a fake, which is correct, and Alu's low HP will work against him. Furia going to get it done, but a solid, nice try from Alu. So nearly got the clutch.
He really did. He played that out perfectly. It's just unfortunate that CORSAIR was able to slip out of there with that smoke. A little bit of a ninja vanish moment there, and it comes in right when Furia needs to get back the lead. Also, a score update. Navi did 2-0 Optic in the upper bracket of Group B, so they're actually moving on to play the winner of Nip Greyhound, which is our next game that we're going to cast here. ENCE have forced up in this round, by the way. Both teams playing the economic game of chicken at this point. Who can win 2 in a row and finally force the other to tap out? That's the question that's left to answer. Again, tournament lies on the line for both of these teams in this series. The more pressing one being for ENCE because they did already lose the first map.
ENCE in a bit of trouble with a full purchase. Only $700 in their bank balance collectively. The Sergey's going to put his CZ to use. CORSAIR battles back with his SG. 2 kills picked up in quick succession. The B site hasn't fell just yet. They still have Alu here with the scout. And Yuri is going to be given the orders to go in first, potentially to his death. Aerial showing himself in connector. Grenade going to chip him down to 39. Now they know where Alu is additionally. And he is now the last man standing. All 3 players will die if Alu connects to them with the scout. There's no way of him knowing this, of course. So he is going to decide to take a more passive angle of approach or potentially retreat. Oh, he is going back in to see if he can maybe take a couple players down with him.
It's a full save no matter what the next round. I guess you might as well try. Obviously, if he could have carried it over, that would have been nice too, though. That's the only gun they would really have had, but it's not going to be the case either way. Furia now going to go up 10-8. Starting to get some control of this game now. All of a sudden, that 2-0 possibility is there to steal this map away from ENCE and knock them out of the tournament. It would be the 3rd group stage exit in a row for ENCE since the major. All 3 of their events with Sunny so far would have ended in tragedy.
Odds? Okay then. Well, he's been running USP down into the grave. It's not too likely that ENCE are going to be able to jump on top of that early casualty, but it is going to be a little bit of a banana peel as Alu gets a second. 3 SGs will move out of the round, but Furia now 11-8 in the lead, and it's not going to be the greatest of buys either for ENCE. If you look at having double ops, it's not really a possibility. Not too much utility unless they go down to M4s.
Timeout being called here to have some extra time to discuss the options. Alu will have the AWP back. Rifles for everyone else. No AUGs. We do see that sometimes on train, but not in this one. Plenty of SIGs, though, on the opposite side. In fact, all of them have SIGs except for Henny. Everyone on Furia has been playing pretty well thus far. On the opposing side, Sunny and Sergey have really not shown up just yet, the way you'd expect. It's really just been Alu.
Yeah, that's kind of similar to, I'm sure, how CORSAIR was feeling in parts as well on the first map. Flashbang hit, lands in the eyes of Art, but decides to go back out and peek again. Very aggressive. Cost him his life.
Giving ENCE away back into this, you have to feel. Sunny now able to kind of coast up close on T-Con. Also chips away at Yuri, takes him down to 66. In the meantime, Vinny trying to get down the ladder. He's already been spammed by air. He's still going to go for it. Why? Why on earth?
Yeah, there's aggression, and then there's just madness. And that felt like it was certainly the latter of those two options.
Seemed like he was desperate because they were down a man to make a play. Got to give your team a chance, though. There's still a couple players going towards Ivy with the AWP. You didn't have to go for that.
Furia going to have to try and regroup and deliver something special with this 3v5. 2 players through Ivy will be Yuri and Henny. CORSAIR occupying in A main. Player coming towards them will be X7. There's a smoke in, but they're going to be looking to boost over it, the T's. Meanwhile, CORSAIR seeing if he can maybe find somebody up close. X7, though, knows exactly what's coming up. And he will smash them down. Shatters any hope at a clutch. CORSAIR with a kill, but gets dinked. And he's going to be backing away to save. So, ENCE, their first round in 3.
It's a big round to win, too, for ENCE, because Furia were starting to spiral this game. It's also massive that they didn't really lose that much in the process. They only lost 1 player. They had such a low economy. To give a chance to not have to rebuy a bunch of rifles is huge. They get 2 free SIGs as well. They get the kind of upgrade in that regard. So it really couldn't have gone much better for ENCE there. It just seemed like Furia were a bit disjointed on that attack. Got a bit desperate even, it seemed. Now they're going to take a timeout. They still have some money to go around to get something going in this round.
I'm going to have enough funds to supply everybody with rifles alongside the Henny AWP, of course. So, not the end of the world for the Brazilians. But, yeah, as you say, that last round was a bit of a head-scratcher in parts.
Yeah. I feel like Art just thought he had a cool timing. He was going to be able to get the entry. Obviously, that would have unlocked everything. But, yeah, that peek down ladder definitely leaves a lot to be questioned. Double op now going to be in play for ENCE. X7 being the secondary. Both of them will be towards outside. One towards Ivy.
Nasty grenade damage already in main. CORSAIR. Oh, the double spray is unbelievably on point. Flicking across to the head of Aerial. But Alu is going to return the favor with his AWP. It's nothing slow about this round. Furia now have Henny in play. He's already dished out onto X7. A weakened Alu who is limping. Is joined by Sergey, who is perched up at the backside of Ivy. The ambush was set, but it backfired from ENCE. They haven't fully developed this push, though. They still have a player in team main that hasn't quite got out just yet. They have a smoke and a flash remaining, but that's it on Furia.
Thing is, Alu is such a softened target. If they can just get 1 bullet on him, he's going to be off the board. It's all going to be on Sergey. Sergey actually pushes through Ivy, so now Alu has no help at all. He's got to try to buy time for Sergey to get this flank through T-Con off, and he's doing just that with the kill. Not quite the other, but now at least Sergey has a somewhat winnable 1v2, but as enough time passes, Furia will eventually realize that this could be a threat. It's all going to come down to timing. How quick can Sergey get out, and will Furia sniff it out?
They're still very cognizant of all these angles around Connector and the bomb site themselves, and they decide pretty unlikely he'll still be on B after all this time, so let's just hit it ourselves. I like the call, and Sergey, who's still snaking his way around the A site, is going to find out very shortly that he has to move a little bit further if he wants to try and take this back for the Finnish team.
Yeah, the wool's been pulled over his eyes on this one. It was a nice thought to push through. Now what does he do? He's going to come right into Vinny. Going to lose that fight. A headshot through the edge of the wall, and Furia still find their 12th round. And ENCE, money is still a problem. Upgraded pistols and armor is going to have to do in this round, you have to feel. Especially if they want to get back into a double op right away.
Does feel like a case for ENCE. It's 1 step forward and several steps backwards. Yes, you get around under apps, but then you lose instantly You're back into pistols. You're back up against it. Gonna be a 4-player formation on A site with many targets for Furia up close.
Furia just playing a spread offense right now. 2 towards Ivy, 2 in the inner halls and ladder. 1 just kind of holding back towards T-spawn, waiting to see if ENCE are going to throw some type of gimmick push. What this has allowed, though, is X7 to push up very close into T-connector. Excuse me, that's Ariel with the CZ in that spot. He's being spammed, though. A little bit there by Yuri, a little bit of chip damage. So at least Furia are aware of that possibility.
Shows they have a good read on the economy as well. If you're in the kind of pistol round, the likelihood is that you are going to try and push into more forward positions and use the pistols where they are more powerful. See if you can catch the terrorists unaware. Bit of a laboured spray from Arts, who meets a grenade as well. So Sonny will claim his life, but Ariel's also dished out before he is found by Henny, so at least they've got another 2 kills. Right. Economy is certainly looking pretty decent for the T's for the time being, though.
Here we go. Buy up from ENCE. Here's the thing, Vince. If this buy does not work for ENCE, they are pretty much done for. They would be force buying the rest of the game, and it would not be a lot to work with in that process. So if Furia can just get it through this round, which is going to be a challenge, there's a good bit of utility and an op out there, they could be well on their way to moving on and knocking ENCE out here. Ariel's already taken significant damage.
Yeah, he's been blitzed down by HEs ultimately. That's going to put him in the back foot alongside ENCE. The tags up through the wall. Connecting. X7 has the right idea. But now you can see that their utility is dwindled. Sergey with an incendiary and a flashbang. That's all they have. Yeah,
that makes a retake really tough. Meanwhile, Furia have plenty to run a nice little barrage into that inner bomb site. They are very good at these little inner executes, one of their staples besides their default that they've been able to rely on in the past. Really good at getting space.
Good Molotov planted down, though, and Alu's going to get Yuri, who just walks out by himself. That's the bomb as well. That's going to give cause for a potential rotation. Alu's still alive, able to dodge back into the shadows of the smoke. Keeping ENCE's dreams alive here. They lose this map. They are done for. Art. He's going to barrage with the SG. It's going to be 2 kills and a third. That flick across the aerial is so massive. And that could be the moment that seals this map. That seals this best of 3 up. Sonny, all that remains. He's going to get the better of Art. But his position is now known. And it's almost like he wanted to peace out and maybe go for a save. The shot is huge onto CORSAIR. And Vinny now is compromised. It comes down to the long aim duel. This is where the SG should triumph, and it does. Art, take a bow. That was absolutely sickening with the SG.
Yeah, Furia were getting held up so long in the inner executes. They got picked off as well by Alu's AWP in a couple of situations. It was looking dire, but Art with the SIG makes the miracle happen up close. Gets way more than you expected he would be able to, and it's far enough. Came down to 1v1 in the very end, to be fair, but Vinny was up to the task, and now look at it, ENCE just forcing what they can. Couple of scouts, a few SMGs, a FAMAS. Furia just pouring in, though. They can smell the blood in the water. They want to get this series over with, and they're well on their way to that finish line, Vince. They have dealt with this flawlessly. Not a single player falls, and ENCE still have no funds to really put together much of a buy.
6 match points, 6 elimination points. Call it what you will. And Art is going to call the timeout. Let ENCE stew on it. Let them sweat on it a bit longer.
Yeah, that is kind of like one of these Kerrigan almost type of timeouts where you're just letting your opponent think even more about what's happening to them right now. It also gives Furia a chance to just kind of calm everyone down, perhaps. People are probably getting pretty hyped. They're about to 2-0 the series. They're excited. You just want to kind of get everyone to focus back up, not get too far ahead of yourself. You know, you still have to finish this game off. It's not a foregone conclusion. There still is some chances for ENCE, even with limited firepower, to pose a big threat to you and get right back into the mix.
you say, it's a real bargain bucket buy. ENCE digging in deep, scraping the very bottom. All their finances depleted. Very little room for error. Playing aggressive. And as Aerial takes the early damage, just 23 HP. Taken off him. Could catch up with him later on in the round, though. Fairly default, though, Dust. Nothing's really catching my eye about this ENCE set up with these poor weapons.
Yeah, just to double up on Ivy, Furia is going for the triple Ivy setup, so we could see a little bit of an early clash taking place here in this area of the map. And this battle probably will tell all about how this round's going to go. Sunny is good for one, but it looks like he's going to get traded off pretty efficiently here by Art and Vinny. Vinny with the pick into inner. Everything's open to Furia at this point. The floodgates have opened.
Sunny did a ton of damage, but it's not going to be enough. It would appear, and Aerial's the last to fall. Furia get across first. The best of three goes their way. ENCE